Hey, what's up guys, OSG here with a video on great arcade games that never got ported to home systems. These are the ones that immediately spring to mind, but there may be others. When I say it never made it to home systems, I mean the game itself, not the name, as some of these are available on systems, but they aren't the same game. I honestly can't believe that some of these never made it, especially two of the racing games in this video. Anyway, let's take a look at great arcade games that never got a home port. First up is one of my favourite arcade games ever, and that's Willow. The movie that the game was based on was also a firm favourite of mine, and I would plough coin after coin into this machine at the weekends, but never ever completed it. It's so hard I even struggle now in MAME with unlimited credits, but it's a great looking platform game though. The Willow film did get ported to other systems, but none were like this. Next up is the bullet hell game known as Armed Police Batrider. This is a racing game, and they were renowned for some seriously hard bullet hell action. It's a super smooth top down shooter that I thought would have at least gotten ported to a Dreamcast or PS1, but no, at least we can now enjoy it on MAME though. So here is the first of the racing games on the list, and it's Scud Race. This was developed for arcade utilising the Sega Model 3 hardware, and I have to say that this plays as good as any modern racer. It's hard to believe that this game is 24 years old, but even harder to believe that it never made it to the home systems, especially the Dreamcast. Right, next up we have Aliens. This is a Konami classic that is based off the super cool Aliens movie. You get to play as Ripley or Hicks as you take on all kinds of alien baddies. As with Willow, being a movie franchise, it was on other systems, but again, not in this format. Next up is Great 1000 Mile Rally. This is a game that I used to love as it's very much like World Rally. It's a super fast top down isometric racing game that is relentless and never lets up till the stage ends. It was mega popular in the arcade, but the only thing that come close to it on the home system was Neo Drift Out, which was released in 1996. Here we have the 1983 Atari game Major Havoc. This is one of my favourite vector-based arcade games. It plays like nothing else of its time, and I can't believe that it never got a run out on the 2600 or better still the Vextrax. While it was actually released as part of compilations on newer gen machines some 27 years later, it still has the omission from home ports of the time. Next up is Strike Force, one of the lesser known games on the list, but still a great arcade game. This is like a modern day version of Defender. While I've never been a Defender fan, I still love this game. The graphics are a step up from the original Defender, and the whole game experience is much better for me, and it's funny to see the men hanging off your ship. Here we have Rave Racer. This was the third game in the Ridge Racer series, and it took what we loved from the first two games and added a hint of wackiness. The tracks are so windy and unrealistic, it's just a completely different experience than the first two games, and it's got a killer soundtrack too. I would have thought that this would have had a run out on one of the PlayStations at least. Another fighting game here, and it's one that's a bit lesser known. This is Guardians, and for me it's miles more entertaining than the likes of Final Fight, with some great combo moves, loads of selectable characters and some of the weirdest female enemies ever. Starwars Trilogy is next, and this is probably the best Star Wars arcade game ever. We get to fly X-Wings, take on AT-ATs and the Death Star like never before. This game is so realistic for its release day. I actually think this could be ported today and the younger folk would be more than happy with it. It's so good. Here we have Cadillacs Dinosaurs. This was a massive arcade game back in the day, which makes the fact that it never got ported to home consoles even more baffling. The gameplay is class, the characters are brilliant with great moves and pickups, and it also has a unique storyline. This is Dolphin Blue, and this is the best game that not many people know about. The whole game is on another level to any other games on this list. It's like Metal Slug meets Echo the Dolphin, as you battle your way through some absolutely beautiful levels. This could be ported to any new gen machines now and be an instant hit. Alien vs Predator is next, and before everyone starts shouting that this was out on the SNES, it wasn't. It was a totally different game. The only thing it had in common was the characters and that it was a beat 'em up, and in fact the SNES game was out before this. Anyway, this was a firm favourite with me and my mates, and I think that if the SNES game hadn't have been done first, this might have got ported to that system. And now, last but certainly not least, we have the game that everyone thinks they played on home systems, Daytona 2. We all loved the original Daytona, and that game got released on home systems at the time, and later as Daytona 2001 on Dreamcast, but for some strange reason, this game, which is the best of the two, never got a run out. Thankfully though, through emulation we get to play it still, in all its glory. Okay, that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below if there are any arcade games that you knew and loved that never got a home port. And if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more great retro content. Till next time, this is OSG signing out.